Budgeting is a fundamental personal finance skill that involves creating a plan for your income and expenses. When done right, budgeting can help you achieve your financial goals, build wealth, and reduce financial stress. In this video, we will discuss the economic, philosophical, scientific, and emotional aspects of budgeting, and provide practical tips on how to create and stick to a budget. Economic principles of budgeting. From an economic perspective, budgeting is all about maximizing your financial resources to achieve your goals. The basic principles of supply and demand are at play in budgeting, as you have a finite amount of income, supply, and various expenses, demand, to allocate that income towards. Effective budgeting involves finding a balance between your income and expenses to ensure that you are not overspending or underspending. One important economic principle to consider when budgeting is the impact of inflation on your purchasing power. Inflation refers to the general increase in prices over time, which means that your money will be worth less in the future than it is today. This is why it's important to save for the future and invest your money wisely, as inflation can erode the value of your savings over time. Another economic principle to consider is the concept of opportunity cost. This refers to the idea that every time you make a financial decision, there is an opportunity cost associated with it. For example, if you choose to spend money on a luxury item, you may be giving up the opportunity to save that money or invest it in something that will generate long-term returns. Philosophical principles of budgeting. Budgeting also has philosophical implications, as it involves making choices about how you want to live your life and what values you hold dear. For example, if you value financial independence, you may choose to prioritize saving and investing over spending on non-essential items. Similarly, if you value experiences over material possessions, you may choose to allocate more of your budget towards travel or other experiences. One important philosophical principle to consider when budgeting is the concept of delayed gratification. This refers to the idea that sometimes it's necessary to delay immediate pleasures or desires in order to achieve greater long-term goals. By creating a budget and sticking to it, you are making a commitment to your future self and taking control of your financial destiny. Scientific principles of budgeting. From a scientific perspective, budgeting is all about understanding the psychology of money and how it impacts our behavior. For example, research has shown that the brain's pleasure center is activated when we make a purchase, which can make it difficult to resist the urge to overspend. By understanding the psychological factors that drive our spending behavior, we can create a budget that is more effective and sustainable. One important scientific principle to consider when budgeting is the role of habits in shaping our financial behavior. By creating good financial habits, such as tracking your expenses, setting financial goals, and automating your savings, you can make budgeting a regular part of your routine and increase your chances of success. Emotional approach to budgeting. Finally, budgeting also has emotional implications, as it involves making decisions that can impact our sense of security, self-worth, and happiness. For example, if you are struggling to make ends meet, it can be easy to feel overwhelmed and anxious about your financial situation. By creating a budget and taking control of your finances, you can reduce financial stress and increase your sense of security. One important emotional principle to consider when budgeting is the importance of self-care. While it's important to be disciplined and responsible with your money, it's also important to take care of yourself and prioritize your well-being. By allocating a portion of your budget towards self-care, such as exercise, hobbies, or therapy, you can improve your mental and emotional health and increase your overall happiness. Practical tips for creating and sticking to a budget. Now that we've covered the economic, philosophical, scientific, and emotional principles of budgeting, let's dive into some practical tips for creating and sticking to a budget. 1. Start with a clear understanding of your income and expenses. The first step in creating a budget is to determine how much money you have coming in and going out each month. Use a budgeting tool or spreadsheet to track your income and expenses and identify areas where you may be overspending. 2. Set financial goals that align with your values. Once you have a clear picture of your finances, set some goals that are in line with your values and priorities. This could include saving for a down payment on a home, paying off debt, or building an emergency fund. 3. Allocate your income towards essential expenses first. When creating a budget, it's important to prioritize essential expenses such as housing, utilities, and groceries. Allocate your income towards these expenses first and then see what you have left over for non-essential spending. 4. Use the 50-30-20 rule to allocate your income. The 50-30-20 rule is a popular budgeting method that suggests allocating 50% of your income towards essential expenses, 30% towards non-essential spending, and 20% towards savings and debt repayment. 5. Automate your savings and bill payments. To make budgeting easier, set up automatic transfers for your savings and bill payments. This will ensure that you never miss a payment and that you are consistently saving towards your goals. 6. Track your spending and adjust your budget as needed. It's important to track your spending regularly and adjust your budget as needed. If you find that you are consistently overspending in a certain area, you may need to adjust your budget or find ways to cut back on that expense. 7. Celebrate your successes and be kind to yourself. Budgeting can be challenging, and it's important to celebrate your successes along the way. Set small goals and celebrate when you achieve them. And remember, be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Budgeting is a journey, and every small step forward is a step in the right direction. In conclusion, budgeting is an important personal finance skill that involves maximizing your financial resources to achieve your goals. By understanding the economic, philosophical, scientific, and emotional principles of budgeting, and using practical tips for creating and sticking to a budget, you can take control of your finances and build a secure and prosperous future.